It's game time in Boston as the crowds look to cheer on the Celtics. With Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And we have a surprise guest, folks. Here he is, the four-time All-NBA first-teamer, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and NBA champion, which is probably most happy about, most proud of, Kevin Garnett. Thanks so much for joining us for the game.
Man, thank you for having me, man. Shout out to 2K. You know what it is, 2K? Right. OBF all day, you know? Yeah.
Now, you can't play 2K while we're doing 2K.
No, we can't. We can't play it right now, but I'm waiting. Shout to Shaq on this cover. Shout to my dog, Shaq. That's dope. That's what's up. Gas Shaq is on there. Right. Love that. That's what's up. Diesel deserves it, man. That's what's up.
This game marks the end of a road trip for Chicago. They're looking to snag one here before heading back home. And fourth place in the East, this is a confident team. They're not backing down from anybody.
And looking at Chicago, so much has gone right for them this season. They've needed some breaks to go their way, and it feels like they've gotten them all. Now they're poised for success in the playoffs.
Well, they've created their own breaks, Greg. I mean, because of how they've played throughout the entire season. But now is when things really start to get tough.
And before we get going, let's catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge, who had a chance to speak with head coach Brad Stevens. David, what do you have to say?
Well, guys, when I asked him what impressed him the most about today's opponent, he immediately referred to the explosiveness on their offense. He said they have so many different ways to hurt you that it's impossible to take away everything. It's just about damage control. And he acknowledged they've got a big job to do defensively. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
Oh, man, I remember that. It was
17 years old?
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft, you know, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You know, you're trying to get ready for the combine. You're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me, on top of still going to high school, trying to, you know, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and ones around you. And when my name was called, it felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very slow.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Payne out there with Jordan. Then there's Markkanen. Then there's Valentine. And it's Dragic in at the 5 down low.
Well, I know his father was a hooper, and I think that's why, you know, we all love the skill set that Irving has. He's just a dynamic scorer. He's an impressive ball handler, and don't forget a clutch performer.
Kevin, especially back in Minnesota, you have some Hall of Fame battles with a guy named Tim Duncan. Talk about what those games, what those matchups were like.
Timmy, man. Timmy's very crafty, man. Our battles used to be just, especially as young guys, man. Young guys trying to establish themselves in a gritty league at the time, full of some older, dominant names at the time. Michael Jordan, Elijah Malone. You know, the time where the forward position was a very, very tough position. But Timmy was one of them ones, man. Used angles very well, was very long, had a lot of counters, very strong, and had an inner beast that people really didn't really talk about because you didn't really necessarily hear or see it. But man, Timmy's one of the best, man. It's not by coincidence. He's one of the ones.
And stolen by Payne. Here's Valentine. Good on the bucket.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Now, that's just the aggressiveness of transition, making sure they come away with points.
Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently than that.
I call it dialed in.
What?
You know, I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, you know, I only know one way to
go
accomplish
at it with
something.
gusto, right?
You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true.
I tell you what, he will do a great job of committing
to set the good screen. Markkanen has become very reliable in terms of setting those tough picks.
And people may not know, KG, that you're not just a broadcaster for 2K, but you're a member of the 2K community.
Have you been keeping up with the community, man?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Man, listen,
Very much so.
Shout out to all the 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Lord. Y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Lord 5. Shout out to my OBF team. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dex. Shout out to Bug. Shout out to everybody out there playing.
Wow.
Right. We definitely.
Wow.
It's all good. You know, I'm OBF. I'm about the team. I'm gang. You know what it is. Jizzle Lord. Y'all holler at me. Y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
And, Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, you know, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
You know, those are great coaches. I've had a very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe in all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, you know, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You know, you open up yourself to try to, you know, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, you know, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well. We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you're very cordial. And, you know, you're not talking too much about X's and O's. But you do share perspectives. You do share, you know, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil is super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, you know, shout to Doc. And, you know, I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated. He would always tell us, man, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. Terry Rozier's checked in for the Celtics. They get it back. Jones. Some solid defense from Brown.
Some tough D in the paint, getting between him and the bucket and stopping the easy deuce.
Charity stripe shot, and Jones pulls it down.
Not quite airtight defense right there, but his release was a little bit off on the jump.
Took him no time at all on that one. 13 points for Jordan.
He's taking over the game. Their lead's going to get even bigger if he keeps this up.
Here's Rozier. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Morris a screen. 46 seconds left to play here in the first. Rozier kicks to Morris. Clock at 4 over Johnson. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Hey, look, that's what they want. The ball is in his hands in the post. Just didn't have the touch that time.
The shot's good from Jordan.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Here's Rozier. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Tatum's shot is off. Jordan against Brown. Jones, the pass to Jordan. He kicks to Dunn. Down low. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open and is too difficult of an adjustment to make.
That one, no good. And so it's Chicago with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. Right back after this break. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself and his teammates.
We expect so much out of each other every single night, and you know the team is going to go as hard as we go, as well as the other pieces that we have on the team. But we have to control it from a standpoint that we have to play off each other.
Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media, but also, perhaps the most demanding of all, are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another. And I got to tell you, it's fun to watch.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get that transition game going.
Well, this roster is built for guys with speed. They're running the floor hard in the first quarter.
Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Brown out there with Rozier, and it's Tatum in at the 3 spot. That's the Boston 5. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Mr. Incredible in their last matchup against the Raptors was phenomenal. He finished with 42 points and played tremendous defense as well, really causing havoc on both ends of the floor. It's rare to see any player put up numbers like that. It's likely a game he'll always remember. Kevin?
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that hot, it takes a while to cool down.
Yeah, he was special. But the biggest challenge for him tonight is that the defense...
.105 left to play here in the half. KG, I know you can't stay any longer. You've got to move on, but we appreciate your time, and it's always great to see you.
Kev, anytime, man. It's great to see you, man. And anytime you need me, you let me know, man. I'm yours.
Former MVP, Defensive Player of the Year and champion, Kevin Garnett. I'll tell you, Greg, there may not have been a more passionate player in this league than Kevin Garnett. What a treat to have him join us, huh?
Yeah, the energy he would bring night in and night out is similar to what he brought here tonight. You can hear it in his voice. Just he still has that excitement and passion for the game.
Chicago leading by 8. The drive by Jordan. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Chris, we all know you were a big Pistons fan growing up, and of course that means that you had plenty of chances to root against the Chicago Bulls. When you go back and you think about when you were young, was there one Bulls player that you loved to hate, so to speak?
A little secret. I always cheered for Detroit, but I never hated the Bulls. Isaiah and Jordan were my favorite players. That's a little bit of a cop-out along with Magic, Bird, Dominique. But no. I really loved Artis Gilmore as well coming before. But no, I really can't say I had a player on the Bulls that I didn't really like.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. Rozier kicks to Tatum. Horford with a screen on Johnson. The 19-foot shot. And so it's Chicago. Up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, you have scored very efficiently in the first half, so what has the mindset been?
Well, I've tried to stay aggressive when I have the ball and not to get baited into taking a bad shot. As long as I keep attacking and not settling for the bad looks, then I'll be effective on the offensive end. We have a great offense, as a team, and I'm just trying to do my part within it.
Well, you guys are working together, and it's paid dividends so far. Thanks. Guys?
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. And Mr. Incredible has been sensational.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, right. The defense hasn't had an answer for this guy yet. Just too skilled, too driven thus far.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Look at that jam. Wow. Just beautiful.
Sick. And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. Well, there are a lot of players who seemingly have ice in their veins when the game is on the line. They do not blink. When you think about those kind of players, who might be the most mentally tough in the league right now?
Well, it's so hard to tell who really is mentally tough because you don't know what these guys are thinking. But I know who looks like just cold stone, just merciless players out there, and that's Kawhi Leonard, because
Yes.
you never know. You know, Kawhi is a nice guy, but, you know, he'll shoot a shot that'll end the game and then just give you such a cold look, and I think Isaiah Thomas is that way. I mean, I think so many players, of course, LeBron, Curry have been that way their whole career, but Kawhi Leonard seems to be that next coming of ice in his veins.
The Celtics making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Here's Jordan. Offensive rebound. Looking for Dragic, and he gets it there. For the three. Payne kicks to Markkanen. Jordan against Brown. Off the pick. The drive by Jordan. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
He's shooting free throws, number 4 in 5 here.
He was extremely sharp at the free throw line in their last outing.
Time now for an injury report.
He said it appears to be a moderate wrist sprain. And of course, that would be a brutal loss for this team if he misses any time, as they're getting ready for the end of the season. Kevin?
Well, thank you, David. Hopefully, we'll see him very soon. Good work there as it goes. Jordan's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Oh, yeah, up by double digits. They're trying to keep the momentum, keep the foot on the neck. That's his focus right now.
Al Horford's checked in for Trevor Booker. Portis, he's checked in for Chicago. For Boston, they come into this one following a loss to Brooklyn.
Yeah, you're just not going to win many committing turnovers at the rate they did. That was just outrageous.
Well, and then to compound the problem, they failed to force mistakes with their defense. Just too much turnover differential.
And he's been passive today, but maybe that's what he needs to get him going, because for them to be successful, he's got to be a little more selfish.
Payne kicks to Jordan. Back to Payne. Launches a three. Drills it from outside. Payne's got himself on the board with 3 there.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
On its way from Irving for 2, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Now, Irving gets hot in no time. One of the most decorated scorers in the league.
Jordan kicks to Markkanen. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Oh, and the Celtics bringing in Brad Stevens as head coach in 2013. That same summer, they made their blockbuster trade with the Nets. 2 home run moves for their franchise.
And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. And those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times where you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. And the Celtics signed Brad Stevens to a 6-year contract to lure him away from Butler in college basketball. Chris, they were very confident he'd be a great coach.
Well, they might want to pull out their pen and have him sign another 6-year deal real quick, because he's already established himself as one of the league's top coaches.
No good from Irving.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Right at the free throw line. Again, Irving missing.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Jordan up top. Defended by Hayward. Here's Dunn. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. The Celtics have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. And stolen by Dunn. One-on-one fast break. And a wide open look for Jordan. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Jordan's got 38 points.
Now, this is a different ball game without his scoring. He's been Mr. Reliable at the offensive end.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Knocked away. And slam dunk by Jordan.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink?
And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Well, you hear that? No, you don't hear anything. They silenced the crowd with this big lead. No sign that they're letting up.
And so it's Chicago with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Pace of play is a big part of tonight, okay? Make sure on the bench when we come back, we lift it.
One of the team's great young teachers, Brad Stevens, wanting his guys to control the tempo.
Yeah, and he feels if they push it, if they attack intelligently, it's going to be to their advantage.
We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Payne kicks to Lopez. Jordan dishes to Jones. Hayward against Jordan. Shot clock at 6. Sinks the three-pointer. Jordan's got 45 points.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Oh, that's why you see them flexing a little bit. They're feeling good about how they've dominated.
Here's Booker. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And one of those lunch pail players. You love him, Greg. Trevor Booker out of Clemson.
Just hard-nosed, gets on the glass, and although only 6'8", he gets off his feet quickly. A terrific leaper and just one of those ultra-competitive guys.
Boston making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Jordan against Brown. Jordan the pass to Lopez. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. The drive by Jordan. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. And Chris, power forwards today shoot a lot more three-pointers. If you played today, I think you'd be incredibly effective in that role. How do you think you'd be in that role?
Oh, yeah, I think that that's something I would have definitely had fun and relished in. I did shoot threes a couple of seasons in Washington and was pretty successful at that, but the style of play was just so different then. Big men were asked to stay in the post, and there was a lot more work in the post, a lot more pressure on the big guy to get to the free throw line to wear down the defense. So the whole game was different then. The big man kind of ruled the game. Today it's a point guard's game, and so what's great is I'd have to step out to give the point guard a lot more room to drive, to take a shot blocker away, or because there aren't any shot blockers. And so I definitely would love to hang out in that corner and shoot that easy 3 or at the top after a pick and roll and pop right back. That would have been a lot of fun. Plus, it would give you freedom because when you can shoot that Jimmy like that and you got a nice wet jump shot, it allows that pump fake to work all day. So I would have pump fake a lot from that three-point line and dunked on a lot of people. So that would have been fun to have that freedom as they do today. Just like it's fun watching these young guys let it fly from that three-point line.
So the Bulls, their last game, a win against the Raptors. Inside, Johnson. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got 3 assists in the game. Pass to Irvin. Floats one up, and it's good on the way in.
Oh, look at the soft touch on the teardrop.
Brown against Jordan. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Chris, during your playing days, you were on some incredibly talented teams and also some teams that were destined to come up short, so to speak. How big was the difference in the culture between a team who might contend for a title and the culture of a team that is just trying to grow and become a good team?
You can tell the minute that you walk into an organization which team that you're playing for, whether it's a team finding identity or a team that believes in themselves. And it's a big difference. It's a difference in the way that the winners approach every day. It's a difference in the way that you take your job serious or that you approach the small things and pay attention to the details. And so you notice when you're in a good culture and a bad culture, and it all starts at the top. And hopefully, if you're fortunate to stay in this league a long enough, you'll be around the right culture. But the right culture is just doing all the positive things when no one is watching and then hoping for great results. And when you do that, I think you're in a great culture.
And he makes good on the layup. Jordan's got 53.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Bulls.
Well, the one thing that jumps out in this game is the free throw shooting, which they did a much better job at.
Absolutely. A big plus. And oftentimes your performance at the line can be the difference in a game. And I think tonight we saw that.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year.
And they've really had a dominant run of games against this opponent this year. They played them 3 times and won every one.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Jordan.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got. Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't care how good you are. It's tough to succeed in a hostile environment. They're doing it in style.
Rozier kicks to Morris. There's the pick. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
When Morris gets free from mid-range, he's very effective. Love seeing him getting it going from there.
Here's Jordan. Pass to Dunn. Right side, Jordan. Oh, and the jam by Jordan.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what's shocking? I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Well, that basket must have looked as big as a rain barrel tonight. How did you keep that offensive flow going all game?
DA, are you rolling? Is the camera on? Good, because this is important. I'm the best player in the league. Now, I know the media is often scared to say it, so I'll say it for them. I'm the best. And if you don't believe me at this point, then do me a favor. Get in your pajamas, lean back into that beanbag chair, and watch this game tape on repeat until you understand what greatness looks like. It looks like DJ. It's that simple.
Beanbags are not good for my back, so no thank you. Congratulations, though. Kevin, back to you.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.